Hello and welcome to this week's episodes of The Calling. Follow your spirit all the way in. I'm your host, Homaya. Join me in this journey of self-awareness, soul frequencies, and spiritual revelations. Let's fly. Hello, beauties. Welcome. Somehow this week I found myself having a conversation with different private clients and students, and somehow a certain topic came back again and again in those conversations, and I felt so inspired as it is so much connected to how we are walking in our life, in our journey, in our spiritual experiences, our spiritual journey, our ascension journey. I felt like, why don't I share in the podcast here 2 questions that I found myself asking myself in crucial moments during my life as I am answering the calling of my soul again and again. And those questions are so powerful. They're super simple. They are super powerful because they create, I would say, a bridge between the spiritual wisdom, the empowerment that we're feeling from our connection to Source, from the activation of the core of our being, and facing life as a human being. I feel that we all know these experiences. We all had different situations in our life where we practice a certain practice, we're having certain realization, having an internal experiences that are way beyond what you can express in words. And then in a very natural way, we face a limitation. We face a challenge. We face an uncomfortable situation, personal or global. And the reason that I said we face a limitation is because this is what it truly is. It is a limitation in our perception of ourselves and life. It is not something that is against us. It is not something that is against you. No one is doing it purposely. It's not what your husband said, your wife said, your children relate to you, respect you, they do not respect you. I don't know, the bank account, any of those things that can feel that they're dragging you down and taking energy away from you. And then you're asking yourself about your spiritual path and you're like, what am I doing even? So I want to share those things, but I really want us to look at it that those questions are keys. Those questions, they were keys for me, so I'm giving it to you as it. But I look at them as keys. I know that I arrived to a certain limitation in how much God and good I am able to see and experience in life. I'm arriving to a limitation where the judge inside of me start to take over and start to protect me and start naming others or myself as good or bad. And instead of having a greater connection to myself and to others as I'm living life and bringing heaven on earth and becoming really the light activator, the one who takes this divine gift and really put them into this experience, I am living and experiencing myself as an extension of the divine. Instead of that, I might find myself moving into protection and ego and limitations. So those two questions are keys to open your heart, to open your perception, and to allow more of the good and the goodness into your system and from you as rays of light to all that there is. So let's take a deep breath and open ourselves to listen. The first question that I wish to offer, and there's no order, by the way, to those questions. It's not ask this question before and then ask the other. Do not get that mentally at all. Just use them really as two keys and see what is the key that is open the door that you're standing in front now, because you don't see good and you don't see God. So one question is, why am I doing it? Take a deep breath. What am I doing here? Why am I participating now in this scenario? Why am I bringing my light and my energy in that specific way? So in the beginning, I was looking at why things happened. Why? And it's such a ridiculous question, honestly, because when you ask this question, it most likely means that your presence is anchored still more in duality and contradiction and less in unity and truth. So you're asking, why did it happen, as you're searching for a mystical answer, and so easily one can just drop into who I should blame. Instead of asking, why did it happen, as a way to open a door. And then as I evolved and continue to answer the calling of my heart and show up for myself, for light, for God, and for my clients, I've realized that everything happened for me, as me, and through me. So as I am the creator of any situation that I am in, whether I created it beyond time and space at the seat of my soul in the higher heavens, or whether I created it unconsciously through life experiences that I had and some type of a brainwash that I had to say to myself to convince myself in a certain identity that felt right to me, or whether I actively created that. So if I'm showing up to any situation as an active participator of this situation, then I want to be there with awareness. And I want to ask myself, why am I doing it? Why am I part of it? Especially when it is uncomfortable. I want to see my patterns. I want to see my shadow. And I also want to see my light. Both my shadow and my light created with me this scenario, this uncomfortable or blissful situation. I want to ask myself again and again, why? Why am I doing it? More than that, as I evolved and I really am anchored so strongly in my light leadership and in the importance of what I do in this life and who I am in this life, I'm asking myself, why am I doing it? Before any creation. When I enter a room, I want to know, why am I entering this room? When I enter a conversation, why am I entering this conversation? When I'm having a certain idea or creation, or a project or a class or an experience, I want to be very clear with my own self. Why am I doing it? And I don't want to take any answer that I'm doing it for someone else. Even if this is the truth, at that experience on a superficial level, I can say, I'm doing it for my client, I'm doing it for my son, I'm doing it for my mother, I'm doing it for my husband, I'm doing it for my listeners. No, but this is not the real truth. It's not the full truth. I'm doing it for myself because I want to speak, because I want to hear myself, because I want to feel how it feels to hold such a huge commitment, because I want to feel how it feels to verbalize this idea and this concept. I want to give myself this experience to dance with these people, with those people in that day. I want to give myself a sensation that I am stretching my edge. I want to give myself an experience of feeling fulfilled as I am opening my heart in the presence of my child, my mother, my husband. I want to feel myself fulfilled as I am conversing with people who are walking that path together with me, or walking a path that I walked years before, but now they're walking in a different context, and I want to be in contact with them. I want to there will be always reasons why you are doing it. Knowing why you are doing it would not influence the experience. Knowing why you're doing it will not make anything safe, would not protect you. Knowing why you are doing it supports you to hold the strength of holding God's presence inside of you in any situation in your life. Knowing why you are doing it might finally seems ridiculous, yet being connected to it, truly being connected to it, will give you the stamina and the resilience that you need if you want to walk in life when God is awakened within you, especially if you want to lead in light, because you will have so many situations where you want to give up. You will have so many situations when you're going to doubt yourself. You will have so many situations when you ask yourself, is it even possible what I want to do? Why God gave me this idea? Why do I have this desire? Why? Oh my God, why Spirit Guides just move me now to say those things, to move in that way? Why? Why do I need to show up also today? Why do I need to show up when I feel that I cannot do it? When I feel that I just want to have time for myself? Why? You will have so many questions. You will have so many questions when you decide to lead, when you truly decide to be committed to lead yourself, and others will start walking with you. So whether you are aware of it or not, you start to cultivate a relationship with your soul tribe. They will ask you questions. They would look at you as you walk. They will seek an advice. And if you decided and you answer the calling of your heart that is saying, this is how I bring myself into fulfillment, by guiding those people, by being in their presence, by feeling them and listening to them, and having the unlimited patience to their life journey, being completely with an open heart to their ups and downs and to the human inside of you that might perceive them as getting it or not getting it. The resilience and the strength that is needed, that is a requirement to walk in faith. When you see that the people that you love or the people that are coming to be in your presence and learn from you are sharing with you their pain, and as you hold more, you care more, then every time that you see the judge, and every time that you meet the doubt, and every time that you feel that you go down, and every time that you feel that you don't have power, ask a very simple question. Why am I doing it? What am I bringing to this situation? And that question is so powerful because it will also support you to see the light and to see the shadow. Not because you want to have more information, but rather because you enjoy the ascension. Why am I doing it? What am I bringing to this situation? Why do I repeat this pattern? Why do I entertain this relationship? Why do I feed this frustration? Now, when you ask the question, if you've listened to the episode before, I really advise you to listen to the episode number 18, which is about receiving messages from spirit. But I inspire you to do the same when you're having conversation with yourself. Ask, why am I doing it? And do not expect a mental answer. Answer with your heart. Just use that question as a key to open a door. You don't need to go mental. You don't need to have a reason. You don't need to have an explanation. Why am I doing it should be a reminder. There's no answer after why am I doing it. There's a recognition, an alignment, and an activation of power. I feel I'd like to complete this episode with it, and I'm going to record another episode soon about the second question, which I feel that this is really powerful and amazing that you would listen to. I also want to share my gratitude because more and more of you are commenting and sharing with me insights and feelings and your life experiences while listening to the podcast episodes. I want you to know that nourishes me a lot, that I really enjoy knowing how what I deliver lands in you and how it nourishes you as well, if it contributes and how much it contributes, etc. And it's also inspired me with ideas of what to share and what to record. So I'm very grateful. Please keep this channel open for a conversation. Last thing I want to share, this community of light worker, light activators are super important for me, is super important for me. And last year I created a beautiful event, 2 days event that was an injection of love and hyper dose of light and empowerment. And I've decided to offer this event again now in the Lion's Gate, this beautiful portal on the 7th and the 8th of August in Lisbon, Portugal. I invite you to join us. I want us to have the 2 best days of this year. I want us to be together in community, all of us who are walking this path of light and spirit, and I want us to be so nourished and in love with ourselves, with the divine, with who we are and what we are and why are we doing whatever we're doing. So please find the link below and join us in this beautiful, heart-opening paradise celebration. Thank you. Thank you for listening and being part of this great conversation. You will find all the relevant links in the show notes, as well as a link to a meditation for you to feel more connected to your spirit and aligned with your soul contract. Please, if this episode touched you, leave a review, like and subscribe. Feel comfortable to share it with your friends, family and colleagues, because everyone has a calling.